Massive container ship erupts in flames off Long Beach. Fire crews battle overnight inferno. Candace Owens alleges her life is in danger. Do you believe her? Amber Sheck was only 20 years old and her colleague murdered her because he hated her. Remove the regime. Protest floods DC after thousands rally amid rising political tension. Air taxis coming to Los Angeles soon? Are you gonna be riding one? An employee was fired after reporting Campbell's vice president.
I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
Did you hear that the United States is selling AI chips to Saudi Arabia? More on this story shortly. A new documentary, Age of Disclosure, sparks debate. Are we entering a new transparency era? We watched it, we paid the $20, and we're discussing it.
In the business world, hope is on the horizon. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Sunday the U.S. was not at risk of entering a recession in 2026 and claimed Americans would soon benefit from the Trump administration economic policies on trade and taxes. Small business owners are wasting way too much money on social media ads. Stay tuned to our opinion on how you can maximize your marketing budget.
They tried to make dolphins speak English, but the experiment went off the rails. This information would change the way you look at dolphins. This hacker exposed something so dark, and the police ignored him at first.
It's another week here with my beloved sisters, and welcome to the next episode of Guac and
Chippies! Saturday night, as I was, browsing through my X feed, I saw that Candace Owens posted a tweet where she alleged that, the French government is after her.
Dun dun dun.
At first I heard you say ex's feed.
Oh.
I was like, you stalking your ex now?
No. That's funny. She's been covering extensively before Charlie Kirk's murder, the French government, specifically the wife. And she had gotten in touch with a French reporter or journalist who was covering that Brigitte Macron is transgender and that she wasn't born as a female. So I don't know why they didn't really want this information to come out. She's been covering this in her podcast, and allegedly she was also saying a lot of information about them that it got so deep that President Donald Trump called her and he was like, hey, can you please stop talking about the French government? And she said no. So she continued, and eventually, Charlie was sadly murdered, and she shifted her focus of the podcast for some time on covering his assassination and trying to figure out more information of how it went down.
Yeah, that's kind of intense for you to get a tip that someone sent a hit squad after you.
Part of the tweet says, quote, "In short, this person claims that the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination."
I saw that.
So that was the first tweet she tweeted out, and it went viral. She encouraged her followers to share, and that if anything did happen to her within the coming days or weeks or whatever, that the people responsible would be the French government and the United States government as well.
Damn.
So it's pretty intense for her to be saying that.
It kind of sounds like she's living a movie.
I know.
And she needs Jason Statham's help, the bald guy, to escape the U.S. government.
November 23rd, Sunday night. She says, I have informed people in the federal government and the White House of the France and Israeli assassination plot and am willing to provide full details, as well as the names of the assassins and international accounts in France and Canada through which money was exchanged. So apparently the person, the whistleblower who told her that they're planning her assassination, showed her receipts of money transactions made. But this is pretty crazy. Thoughts on the story? What do you think? Comment down below. Do you believe that Candace Owens is being targeted, or is this just a publicity?
Well, as of right now,
marketing.
It's just a conspiracy.
That she's being, I don't think it's conspiracy. Well, if she's saying it,
and on top
would
of
it
that,
be conspiracy?
it could still, she's saying it because
she says she has receipts, but she can't reveal them yet. She's willing to cooperate with the White House. And I think she is saying a lot of things that go against, if somebody's trying to silence, I don't know why the French government does not want this information out. They also tried silencing the journalist at one point, and I guess that's why he contacted Candace, because she had the platform. I'm not 100% well versed in the story because I know about it, but I didn't dig into the journalist side. But I know he was restricted. So it's like, I don't understand why yet they would, like, if it's something that's known and there's like records. She said that she would be willing to stop about the topic if they just came clean and they proved that, you know, she isn't transgender, that she was born as a male, because there's been like birth certificates, pictures, and family records that demonstrate that they're actually right. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand. Maybe the French are not as progressive as we thought they were.
What if it's, like you said earlier, a marketing ploy? Just taking advantage of the current chaos that the death of her friend caused to gain the limelight. And at the end of the day, she does have something to benefit, which is like viewership. That makes her like isn't she like the #1 podcast in the world?
She became the #1
Candace.
podcast.
And get this. I mean, you can tell clearly that she cared about Charlie.
Yeah.
Like they were lifelong friends. I mean, would you say that you were in a headspace to have a podcast weeks or months after our father passed away?
No, but I was posting on social media, and I think
but like,
it was,
imagine
people
like,
could have said that was insensitive, but I just didn't know how to cope with the loss. And I feel like since social media has been a part of my life,
Actually,
and I'm not even saying that it's like a negative thing, but I'm saying like the things you would say, like it's not something that is with the right mindset, right?
Your head right, is, because I was gonna say I would write a book.
Your head is in a place of hurt, right? And then how is it that you might not feel paranoid? Like what if someone's just playing a joke? Like one of her fans understands or is able to communicate with her, and as he's, I mean, this is super hypothetical. This same thing, it's like he can literally just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
No, I understand what you mean.
Like, I don't know.
I think it could be a real threat. It sucks
because I like Candace.
I think it could be a real threat, especially if she hasn't received, and she said that, you know, she has constant communication with the government officials, but it's kind of hard to prove because, like, you can't just expose everything. She has also, like, text messages from, like, certain people. And if she was to expose these people and come out with their names, their lives is also on risk. So we're going to have to stay tuned to see how the story unfolds. But hopefully now that she published that, if it was a real threat, she will be somewhat protected.
Yeah, what's the whole point of everything, though, that she's doing?
To find the truth.
There's a lot of inconsistencies with the investigation that happened, the information that the FBI released, and then what's going on social media. So, for example, one of the statements that the FBI said was that the gunman who shot Charlie dismantled the arm. And when he was climbing down the roof and everything, he didn't have a firearm. And so they said people who are experts with guns reached out to her. You know, they obviously proved that their title, whatever they were a part of, and why they know about guns. And so they said that that kind of arm is not that easy to just bring apart, and the story doesn't make sense because even when they found it in the forest, that it was intact. So what do you mean the gunman had time to bring it down and run away, and then when they found it, it was all put together? So they also say things about like the camera footage that was submitted and a lot of things.
Some say that like a security guard grabbed one of the cameras that was behind Charlie and hid that footage.
Yeah, so his own team.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of inconsistencies with the investigation.
Damn.
But if you didn't know that,
Mm-mm.
but if like Candace should stop talking about stuff in her podcast, then wouldn't the wife already told her like just stop?
Well, the wife wouldn't get involved because Candace really hasn't said anything negative about the wife.
She hasn't said that she was involved.
No,
I feel like
she hasn't. She's always spoken nicely about the organization, the what's Turning Point organization.
Turning Point, yeah.
Oh,
and I think it's a move that she's doing because she knows that if she starts targeting them, she's gonna be like maybe they're gonna do a lawsuit and she can't talk about it. So it's like
or maybe
convenient for her to be on good terms.
Or maybe she's letting her because she knows that something's wrong with the case of her husband.
I don't know. I don't trust her. Like
You really don't trust Candace?
She looks evil. No, the wife.
Some people are saying that
The wife,
we're
Charlie's wife,
misinterpreting her.
completely evil.
Yeah, but people are saying that we're misinterpreting the videos of her being evil the way how you're saying it.
Really? I don't know.
Because you know how there's clippers that show the good and some are being bad and showing what you want to see.
I've seen the full footage of... And you know, I like Charlie. Charlie was a great speaker. But I don't know. Something about the wife just doesn't sit right.
Oh, I haven't seen the video, so I wouldn't know.
Well, word on the street for those of you following this story is that she is with JD Vance.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's a rumor. Yeah, that's what I said. Word on the street, and that she's moving to Tennessee.
But going back to what Candace is doing, do you guys think that a short life or her getting assassinated is worth seeking the truth? I mean, really, like put yourself in her shoes.
I think.
Like, at what point do you
I think
just
when
say,
you become passionate about something and you're stubborn about it, it's worth it. I'm also thinking about her children, though.
Yeah, because just imagine, like, let's say we live in Mexico and same lifestyle we have here, but in Mexico, in Michoacan, and then the cartels tell us either you stop taco catering, or your family dies, or your life is at risk. Is it worth it?
For some people, it is. I think for a true journalist, it is worth it because you're going behind the truth and nobody is willing to stand up for what they believe.
I think that's also different because cartels over there, they could do anything to people. And over here, yeah, she could get murdered, but at least she could actually try and hide. And over there, you can't hide. Well, that's what I think.
So if your life is threatened, you would continue to look into it? I don't know. And you have a husband and you have kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's a journalist, so yes,
I mean, it's honorable for sure, but
I think it's worth it if you're standing up for something you believe in and you
know
believe it's true.
What becomes a problem is because in the cartels, again, they could threaten you or us, but they also threaten your whole family. They could find anybody. And for them, they could find her family, not only her children, but outside and her husband's family.
Okay, so
but I don't think people should be dying because by them suing, trying to go after her, it's like proving everything she's saying is right. So if they just ignored her and didn't put too much attention to it, I don't think people would care. Yeah, it would fade off, especially the whole transgender aspect. But in terms of like seeking the truth, I believe if you strongly believe and that's something you stand for, yes, it's worth dying for. Jesus died on the cross.
Yeah, I think you guys say that because you're not in this situation.
I know it's easier said than done, but I think at the end of the day, if you're gonna let people silence you, they're always gonna find a way to blackmail you and to do things. So so if you let them get away with it once, it's gonna keep coming back, like in other forms. So if she would have like listened to Trump, like if she got that call and he told her you can't speak about the subject, and she doesn't speak about it anymore, then in the future there's gonna be something else that's gonna come up, and the same thing is gonna happen. So she's just voicing her freedom of speech and what she believes in. So I think there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if she didn't have the facts and she's there's defamation and things like that, then I think she should obviously back down. But if she strongly believes certain things, then I see nothing wrong with that.
I need friends like Candace.
That stand up, that fight for you.
Candace seems to take that friendship to the grave. That's respectable. But I really hope you guys don't do that for anyone.
You don't want me to do that for you?
No.
Why?
I think it's better to live to tell the story without having to, like, she doesn't have to do that. It's not going to bring a friend back. Who that she cares about is going to be affected by it in the future. Like, I don't know. I genuinely don't think that it's a net positive for her or society. Like, I think time and time again, we have seen that the government is more than willing to do heinous things to for the sake of their agenda. And yeah, people don't do anything about it. Like earlier, you mentioned the Snowden, the guy that, you know, that showed that everyone is being watched. Mm-hmm. And then what do people do?
Nothing.
Business as usual the next day. At the end of the day, like, we're all bots, we're ants. And like, what happened to Martin Luther King? He got murdered.
So
Kennedy, like, why did...
But they went down in our history books.
The hacker that I'm going to be talking about later, he basically is doing something about it because he saw that nobody's doing anything about it.
I mean, it would be nice if she would, if she knows these things, if there's a way that she can do it without impacting her future.
Well, I hope nothing happens to her.
Talking about X and posts on X, they have a new feature that reveals accounts' countries of origin. So the tool rolled out globally this week, and social media users quickly went online to point out that a lot of the MAGA accounts were created in other countries, such as Israel, Russia, Bangladesh, Indonesia, among others. And they were criticizing that. So like the ICE account, it has roots from Israel. So apparently they removed it from certain accounts because it was going viral. Is that like a coincidence, or like why is it that they were created over there?
So it just proves your theory that they're working together.
Yeah, well, it proves that. I mean, I don't know if it proves. I think you have to put in multiple pieces together, but it just kind of says that
they outsource their. Maybe it's just as simple as they outsource their social media accounts to people that work out there.
Nah, I don't think so. I think if I was because if you're like a politician or something, you would create your account here. Yeah. You would create your account here.
ICE and MAGA. That's what you said. MAGA people.
MAGA-related accounts.
MAGA-related accounts. That's it's not really that serious. You can definitely outsource.
I don't agree with that.
The social media management of your account.
Yeah, you can. But where it was created,
I don't think it's that deep.
I think it's deep.
You always got to be cynical. Like, does it really matter? Like, what? Well, okay, tell me.
No, look.
If Israel runs the ICE account, so what?
It matters because that shows that everything that people have been protesting, and they have more influence on the United States than what we have imagined. Like, a lot of people wouldn't think of that. And a lot of people, the reason they were angry and protesting to the Gaza situation was because their taxpayer money was funding what they say is the genocide. ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So if it's supposed to be a federal agency for the United States, why is it that the account was created abroad? And that's
I don't think it's a federal agency, is it?
Yeah, it is federal law enforcement agency. And so, like, they're saying, like, why was the account created? And it's true. Like, why would something that belongs to the United States and part of the United States be created online somewhere else? Now, I do understand the point that other people can manage it from abroad, and that makes sense. But to create an account abroad, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you create it here and it's part of the USA, I get it. Mm-hmm. And then if you hire people to manage it abroad, it's another story. Maybe they're doing it because wages, it's better for them and they don't have to allocate a lot of funds.
And you said the account removed it, no?
Yeah, they removed it. It's just something that I thought was interesting.
Yeah, they can control the narrative of whatever ICE is doing.
Well, not just ICE, just any account.
No, we're talking about ICE.
Like, well, in this situation, yes, I said ICE and other MAGA-related accounts.
Whoever owns the account, it controls the narrative. So that's why it could be something negative. But conversations like this is always like spins my head, because what's the solution? Like, a problem is presented, but like, so what? Like,
stop paying taxes.
No,
I guess.
I think the solution is to ask these questions and bring it up in Congress. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure they have like local groups and committees that you need to go and be like, you know what? Why is this happening? And that's their responsibility to bring it up and talk about it. But
yeah, let's just keep talking about it.
Yeah, so that you could start proposing and making changes, because obviously if people are pissed about certain funds or certain things happening, like, the only way for you to change this is to have the conversation and go through the voting process.
Yeah,
so like the big beautiful
by the time
by the big
it even
beautiful
makes
bill
it to Congress, like the topic is
the big
over.
Beautiful bill was passed, and so if a lot of people probably would have known this before, they were fighting against it. especially the Democratic side. And it was because it was going to do a lot of cuts, and in a lot of the budget, the money was going to go specifically to ICE. So who's running ICE? And are the people who are in charge of them, are they affiliated to, or are they Israeli natives? Things like that.
Yeah, Cat Mom, if you have a cousin or something, make sure you let them know to take it to the senator.
This week in Washington, D.C., there's protests that started Thursday, November 20th to November 22nd, which was Saturday. And the protests were known as Remove the Regime. Organizers are demanding Congress to impeach and remove President Donald Trump from office.
Again?
Yes, again. And
he's got to go.
Organizers are accusing the president of treason. I also saw a video that went viral. I don't know if you saw anything related to the protests, but there's a table, and then they had like costumes of the politicians, one of them Trump, and the Israeli flag, and they were eating, like, they had like fake bodies on it. It was very graphic, and allegedly it's known as guerrilla protesting. But that was one of the videos that I saw. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it was related to this. I didn't really see a lot of videos on my TikTok page.
Me neither. The only one that I saw that kind of makes sense was a girl got in a costume of a, like,
penis.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I didn't know. Police officer arrested her.
A costume of the male body part, intimate part, and essentially, I don't know if that was in Washington. I'll fact check it, but yeah, that video went viral, and they arrested her because somebody else was like saying, "Oh, if my children are walking here, like, what are you gonna tell them if they come up to meet you and ask you what you are?" And so they were upset. Yeah, over a costume. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. But
I thought it was an old video. Like, I thought it happened a long time ago.
Maybe I did see that. And the other, so I also follow this TikToker, Aaron Pradas, and he's like in the news world, and he alleges that the protests happen and that they're not being covered a lot by the media because Trump is upset. Obviously, he doesn't want to be impeached. And things like that. So
I didn't know.
My question to you both was just like, did you see anything about these protests? Did you know that they were taking place?
No, the only one was that male body part.
Well, so you did see it.
Only one.
Yeah,
video.
but she doesn't know if it was from...
Yeah, I didn't know what it was about. I just know that that girl was getting arrested because of that costume. And I looked at the comments, but nobody said it was because of Trump. Like, but so I assumed it was about Trump.
And it was a protest to get him impeached?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know on what basis?
They accuse the president of treason and are demanding that lawmakers, just that. I mean, everything just happening like with the political climate, and
so why is he treasonous? There's
a lot of allegations that he's siding, like, letting Israel run the game, and people are upset.
Okay, so maybe that's the whole reason, the whole idea of treason. That would make a lot more sense. That he's in bed with Israel.
With a lot of them.
Not only Israel.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, you can't say, "Oh, we want to impeach him for treason," and then not have any proof. You know what I mean? So, like, what you guys, a protester, you like what?
That's what
is
the article said. I don't know. Well, this website that says impeach Trump now, it says obstruction of justice. So he's been doing a lot of changes in the political world by like trying to eliminate the Department of Education, changing in the healthcare system of Americans, and etc. Firing with others to commit crimes against the United States, advocating illegal violence.
It's good that presidents are held accountable for their actions, especially their criminal activity and treasonous acts. But don't you think, with the amount of hate that the guy gets, if there was solid, concrete evidence of something, like, it wouldn't have happened already?
Well, you can't. There is evidence, but the thing is,
it's a simple yes or no question.
There is evidence, but they are not using it because there's a lot of people who are involved, and there's a lot of bribes and money. It's all about money and power.
That's a conspiracy theory.
It's not a conspiracy.
I think
it's real.
It's true.
I mean, yeah. It could be true, right? But like, you kind of have to go with the facts.
Who gives us the information, brother?
So what you're saying is that the government and the U.S. government is not to be trusted.
Yeah.
Well, look at the age of disclosure. They didn't want to talk to you
The hacker
about.
that I'm going to talk about, he hacked into people's devices, webs. He found back then in 2020 that a politician ran a website of child abuse, child sexuality.
For
And
Donald Trump?
no, but I'm just saying, like,
No, because you asked a question like, why should we trust the government? And she's giving you an explanation for that side.
One
And
side.
Is he in prison?
No.
Here's the thing. This is what happened. They didn't convict him. You know why? Because he was charged for some other things back then. And then they let him out. And then again, he went back in prison. And I think he suicided.
But you
The
just said
simply
he's in
fact-
prison.
The simple fact that MK Ultra, the CIA funded that program and they experimented, and it wasn't released till after, and it wasn't released because people were advocating for that. So there's a lot of reasons why people don't trust the government. Then there's the alien stuff. Then there's JFK's assassination. The files, they were recently released.
The government has their power because of the people who elects them.
I don't think so. The government has their power because of the money.
Yeah, I mean, when the guy found
Money's
his
Where do they get the money?
Anyways.
U.S. taxpayers. So you guys are funding all that. I'm funding it. All of us are funding it.
That's why Leo advocates for
And so
do not pay
you
your
mentioned,
taxes.
you mentioned as much as the government is not to be trusted, everyone sure as hell benefits from it.
Well, you don't have a choice.
Mom came in clutch with a little snack. Let us know in the comment section. What do you guys think? Can the government be trusted? Should we impeach Donald Trump?
This upcoming story made me very angry and sad at the same time. 20-year-old Amber Sheck was working at a welder Advanced Process Technologies when her coworker, who was significantly older than her, basically grabbed a sledgehammer and hit her in the back of the head and murdered her.
The coworker got a sledgehammer?
Yes. So she was a welder. It's a very
or a hammer.
Sledgehammer. So she was in a male-dominated field.
This is why I don't work.
And apparently her coworker later said in a police report that he just didn't like her, that he hated her. And so
the guy coworker did it to the girl.
to the girl.
Oh, snap.
Sources are saying that she went to HR a couple of times. Some said 5 times. And nothing was necessarily done. They were criticizing HR for not taking action on the situation. And I definitely see that perspective because I have worked in 9-to-5 jobs, and a lot of times when you go report to HR with whoever you're having the problem, they try to sit you down to talk to them, and obviously the other person denies everything, and they just put it on record, but they really don't do much about it. In this case, people are saying that it was unfair because it's obviously dominating male, and people are also criticizing her coworkers because they're saying if a bunch of them probably heard and nobody stepped in to say something or advocate for her. Because why was he so upset that she was really good at her job? And she was only 20 years old. So apparently she was better and she outperformed him. When I was working and I was quickly given the role of associate producing within less than a year, I had male colleagues that I had to work with, and they were very hard to work with. They didn't want to listen to my orders because I guess they felt like they were there for a longer time in the company, and why was, I going around telling them what to do? I mean, that was the job. And so I think this story, it did made me angry and sad at the same time because, she had her whole life ahead of her just because he didn't like her.
But now he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison.
Yeah, but it's still her family and stuff.
Clearly something was wrong with the dude. Why would...
I don't know.
Did they give a reason as to why he did that?
That's what he said. That he didn't like her. He hated her. Yeah.
I thought people who murder, they go to death sentence.
Well, I don't know how Minnesota. Yeah, she's in Minnesota.
And depends on how it happened.
In the workforce, and he just came and hit her in the back.
No, that's crazy.
So I just think if, for those of you who have 9-to-5s and have co-workers, if you see something, I think it's important to also stand up for the vulnerable whenever it's right. And I think HR has to do a better job because usually they defend the company versus employees. And sometimes what I've heard, at least in my situation, is that they like to build up a case against whoever you're reporting. And apparently that's how they're able to, like, you know, eventually remove them or change them to other locations. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if in her field, if maybe, you know, he also, since he was there for some time with the company, if they have certain restrictions about what they can do in these situations. Maybe they could have just changed the shifts or something if there was an issue. And I just think that HR needs to take things more seriously. Sometimes they just don't.
This is such a crazy scenario. Like, I generally don't think in most cases HR has to deal with something of this caliber. How do you decipher what side to believe? And then you end up saying, okay, in that case, this dude is showing signs that he doesn't like this girl, and they decide to take action. Let's fire the guy, hypothetically speaking, or let's fire both of them. And now they have a lawsuit for wrongful termination.
I think they could just change departments, shifts, or times. And then if she had reported him multiple times, there should have been like somebody on site with her all the time, or like working in this. I don't know how.
I don't think there's anything you could have done to stop bro from just.
So if I go,
he must have
report to the HR that he's been bugging me or saying rude
and that you fear for your life, they won't do anything.
Really?
They would just put it on record, and then you would be classified probably. Well, I could be wrong, but they kind of like single you out, and that's because when for example, I went to HR about a previous boss, and when I went, they told me. She just stopped talking to me in general for like 2-3 weeks. She ghosted me. That's right. So I got different treatments from my superiors. Yeah. Even though she was the problem. And she was the problem because eventually the story says that she got fired.
Damn.
And so she had a lot of like accusations too. From like different people, because she would also target people because of image. So she would be like, I don't like the tie you're wearing, or the suit you're wearing, or the shirt, you look fat, or you need to lose weight, or things like that. So she would say these kinds of comments, and
oh man, you should have recorded that. I should. Oh, fat ass liability right there. You just go straight to a lawyer.
And you know, he said that, she said that, and like nobody in the room said anything, but she also kind of said it in a voice where she was like joking.
Like, so, I'm not Candace Owens. I'll keep my mouth shut if you give me $100.
So to what extent do you allow something to be a joke?
My question is, can you clap back at them?
So
what do you mean?
What?
Can you say something back to them?
To who?
HR? To the person that's being rude to you.
Oh,
you can, but sometimes it's just worse. It makes the place toxic.
It just seems like a very complicated matter. Because on their side, who do you believe?
Well, no, it's not about
make HR.
It's just saying that HR needs to just be more attentive when it comes to these situations. That obviously, if it happens more than once, like if it happens the first time, it could be like a warning or like something you like kind of record. But like if they're saying that it happened, like she went 5 times, so to me 5 times is a lot. If it was once or twice, okay, depending on what was that happened. Because if you just say, oh, he, for example, she went the first time and he's like, he's bugging me, he's saying all these slurs, they went and they spoke to him, okay. The second time she comes and like, oh, he's stalking me, or like he's doing this and that, and these are just alleged.
Yeah, but they don't say what the conversations were.
Well, they probably have them in record, so we wouldn't know. And they're obviously not going to publish it now because of the situation. But they're just people online were just debating on how
someone's going to get fired. That HR team is out the door.
But some people were saying that it was probably going to make them not want to hire women anymore in blue collar jobs. And the woman and certain men also said like, well, that's not really the solution. Comment down below if you think HR needs to step up their game and my condolences to Amber's family. Archer Aviation is preparing for the LA Olympics by being the official air taxi provider for the 2028 Games. It plans to use electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft to transport staff, VIP members, fans, and families. There's going to be like a Verdi port that's already in the works, and that's where everybody who is going to be using these air taxis are going to go, so that they can use the air taxis and get to their destination. There's two major companies that are competitors in this field. One of them is Archer Aviation and the other one is Joby. And I just found it fascinating. The Hawthorne Airport in Los Angeles is going to be used for this project when they start preparing for the Olympics. It would be like a 4-passenger craft, and it would travel at 150 miles per hour.
What's the weight limit?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Lilo. You're not gonna cut it. Wait, so
That's not
it's
true.
just
So it's
like
an air
an
traffic.
Uber service, but it's aerial.
Yeah, this is okay. So there's two companies. So the Archer Aviation is specifically going to be working during the Olympics. So 2028. That's why they're trying to make Los Angeles a smart city. And remember the conspiracies we covered about Palisades City being burned and etc. Mm-hmm. In the previous episodes. Check out our previous episodes. It looks kind of like a drone, but obviously bigger. Mm-hmm. And people are going to be transported to the Hawthorne Airport, and they're going to take it. So that's just Archer Aviation, and they've been testing it already, so it already exists, mm-hmm. and it seems to be successful. Now the other one that is
How
also...
high does it fly? So it is an aerial craft.
Yeah.
But
imagine
I don't know how
the
high,
technology that they used to construct that little taxi was from the UFOs. Dun, dun, dun.
Like a drone
it would make sense
helicopter.
that they would do it something with like the Olympics and sports related, just because there's bigger budgets in that. And I am sure that's something that'd be kind of expensive because, you're not mm-hmm. going through traffic and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the other company that is also working on the similar taxi concept is Joby. They've been testing their taxis in Dubai, and they're also in California and New York. And this one is actually collaborating with Uber. So Uber would pick you up from your destination, take you to the airport where the air taxi is going to be at. So in Dubai, it's already going to be tested with people. They said that the cost for that one is going to be like using the Uber Black, similar to that. So
really?
Whatever. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think the reason being...
Is it autonomous?
What do you mean?
So do they have like a driver or a flyer?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not AI.
No, at least not the ones that
would be scary
because they interviewed a pilot, so it's not. But I think in the future it might be. But the reason why I feel like it's not going to be as expensive, at least not in the beginning, I feel that it's because not a lot of people are going to want to pay for it.
Yeah,
like it would exclude them.
It's still like a trial to see how it goes.
Yeah, so that's cool that if you go to Dubai, you'll probably be able to use those starting like real soon. And in 2028, we'll see them. So it'll be interesting to see
that's
them.
why I haven't upgraded vehicle, because I'm waiting for it to drop.
The flying car?
Yeah. Imagine flying to the taquisas.
If there's a weight limit, you're not going to be able to.
Do you like to eat Campbell's chicken noodle soup? Chicken noodle soup with the soda on the side?
No. I don't know. Our parents.
Well, that's good.
We've been fortunate to have amazing cooks growing up. Mm-hmm. So like every meal was always homemade. Mm-hmm. And unless we're going through like really times of economic downturn, we never really ate food from cans.
Yeah.
Tuna.
The only time that I do buy canned food is when I feel like there's going to be a natural disaster to start panicking. They're under a scandal again. An employee is suing them.
What?
Well, one, he recorded this video and where the vice president of Campbell Soup basically said that Campbell chicken noodle soup, the chicken comes from 3D printing. And if you look at the back of the cans, some people have been posting the cans, it says that it's engineered. It's not actual chicken. So we've been talking about food and what is really in our food. And if you see, because I've had, I think the last time that I had a canned soup has been during the pandemic, when that situation started in 2020. And the chicken, it looks normal. Like, well, I don't know. Well, not normal. They're diced up in cubes, but still, it's scary. So a former security analyst, Robert Garza, has filed a lawsuit alleging that he was wrongfully terminated after he reported safety concerns.
That's kind of insane.
And so the other thing is that the vice president said, like, oh, he doesn't consume that kind of food because that's for, like, poor people. The article written by Yahoo Finance says that Robert Garza thought he was walking into a standard salary discussion when he met with a superior.
We have shit for fucking poor people. Who buys our shit? People are keep it. I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it. Look at me, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
The vice president made racist remarks about Indian co-workers.
They couldn't think for themselves. I'm like, you dumb
So he just went on a rant and it went viral because the guy obviously is bringing it to light.
I wonder how much protein it has.
My God.
Well, we have a can of chicken noodle soup. I don't know if it's Campbell. But another lawsuit that they were facing has been with pollution and the environment. So environmental groups allege that Campbell's wastewater treatment plant in Ohio has violated the Clean Water Act because it's discharging excessive levels of pollutants. They admitted to thousands of days of violations and is cooperating with the U.S. Department of Justice, EPA, and the National Environment Law Center to implement improvements.
It just pisses me off because that's not the only company that is probably doing 3D printing. And then not only 3D printing, but what about all the other companies that have red dyes, yellow dyes, sodium, and a bunch of oils that we don't know? Like Crumble Cookie, that company is also not healthy. Like, they have a bunch of ingredients in those cookies.
I think it's common knowledge, right, that the food practices here in America aren't great. The coffee that we receive in America are the ones that the Europeans aren't purchasing. You told me that? Or did I saw that on TikTok?
I didn't tell you that this time. I told you before that they have mold.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So the coffee that they receive in Europe, like, they don't meet the standards. So they don't purchase it. And then we end up purchasing all the coffee that has mold. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, the rules here are more lax. But I think it's always been common knowledge that processed foods aren't the best, right? But this whole idea of like 3D printing chicken, I think that's new.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just think about it. Like, imagine, what do these things have to contain? Because, I mean, you keep a piece of chicken in the fridge and it goes bad like this. And same thing with vegetables. And you're telling me that those canned foods, it lasts how long? Like, there's no way that can be healthy.
Couple years at least too.
That's insane.
But it is concerning, and like you guys said, what is it made out of? Like, you know, you're printing it, but like,
I wouldn't even say it's poor people food, because there's so many options for poor people. Like, you're gonna tell me like stuff like rice and beans?
I think poor people, poor people food, I would consider beans and rice.
Yeah, that's something that's very vast, and then you add like a little protein there.
I guess that's why he's being criticized, but maybe he means like the general, or maybe lazy.
Yeah.
Lazy Americans, sorry.
That's really what it is, like lazy people.
Or well, also I like if you don't have time to.
That's BS.
No, there's some people.
Oh, that's so much BS.
No, I think there's some working moms and working dads, and they have like 3-4 kids. Excuses. They do some. I've seen people do meal prepping, but sometimes you're tired and you don't want to. So once in a while, you'll have like fast food or the chicken soup, and it's practical. So I think that's why, because it's practical.
Do you like Campbell chicken noodle soup? Let us know in the comment section.
What do you think it's made out of?
It was once a potential security risk, but all of a sudden, the USA has approved that they will be selling AI chips to Saudi Arabia. Thoughts on this topic?
What is the chip gonna do?
It's supposed to help Saudi Arabia advance in technology.
It's just exchanging technology for money. Essentially, I think Saudi Arabia is going to invest money here in the States.
These chips will support Saudi Arabia's goal of becoming a global AI hub by powering major data centers, expansions, and collaborations such as the one with Elon Musk, AI. So the security concerns over the AI chip exports would stem primarily from the risk of technology being diverted to China, particularly due to Saudi Arabia's existing ties with Chinese technology firms. The advanced nature of chips raises fears that they could be used to boost China's military capabilities, economic competitiveness, and overall AI development, which the US sees as a strategic threat. Concerns also exist regarding a potential loss of US technological leaders and the possibility of the deals being used for personal gain rather than national security.
I think there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to what chips do. And I'm speaking from experience. Like, I have no idea.
I think it's just enhancements towards AI. So
exactly, but if
really
they're chips that belong to the US, then it's something that's beneficial because whatever systems that they build, they're constantly going to need the US in order to have them. And I think it's a good idea to have them, to have that relationship in a way that benefits the US.
The advancements are in different areas. It's not just like computers. It's also like military. It's also daily life and transportation, because even Elon Musk is investing over there.
Something that I never really understood was, the nations need each other in order to prosper. And I think I read somewhere that China is actually responsible for the majority of the chip production. So that in itself doesn't make any sense to me. Like, don't they technically already have it? You know, like, how is it that China is making the chips, or they have the resources to make the chips, but yet they don't own the chips? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, do they bring them here to the States and then they add the software or whatever? Like, I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you have to have an understanding of how these chips work and exactly what they do, what is their purpose, because it's a little weird, right? Like, if China's making all the chips, they already technically have them all.
No, I think they're talking about cell phones though, and like.
No, I'm pretty sure it's that. So if that were true, China's making them. US is selling them to Saudi Arabia. Like, it's all already interconnected.
A shipping container was on fire Friday, November 21st, and residents in surrounding areas were told at first to keep their windows closed and not be out and about because it contained potentially hazard material that could affect, your health and things like that.
So Long Beach was in lockdown.
Maybe that was a sign that it didn't work.
It was like an electrical wiring issue that caused the fire. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, like the lower deck somewhere there.
So the crew aboard reported a below deck electrical fire on a vessel at approximately 6:38 p.m. local time, according to the LA Fire Department. The vessel, which was built in 2009, had arrived from Tokyo, Japan on November 19. So there was shortly after at 8 p.m. there was like a reported explosion, and I believe that's when the vessel started going on fire.
The fire was difficult to put out. I think it's still going. You know what they do? They moved it like 4 miles towards the ocean.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't interfere with any of the other structural or infrastructure that's there. 2/3 of it was filled with cargo. There's like cargo from like Honda, Toyota, also some like frozen beef from that the Hilton were expecting.
Really?
Yeah, and medical supplies. And so essentially the fire is taking too long for them to put it out, that there's no definitive time frame on whether or not their goods will be able to be delivered, and there's no way to assess the damage until they actually put it out.
So they have to wait.
Yeah, and
I didn't see this on the news.
Yeah, me neither. I ran into it, and then Jocelyn, when she mentioned it, I looked it up. Yeah, so we actually work a lot in Long Beach, and that was like, I think it's kind of like beneficial for me to know in case we have to go and see if anything I need to prepare for anything. One of the higher ups of that port in Long Beach kept saying that the administration hasn't met with him.
What administration? Like the
Trump administration?
Really? Oh.
And so apparently it's because it's a very big port, and they were saying that they need help from the administration. They need more resources to be able to put it out. And so the website made Trump look like he doesn't care and he doesn't want to get involved. Right? But I thought it was so ridiculous that they were saying that. Why? Because California is one of the biggest states here in the United States. Our GDP, our economy is like almost, I think last time that I checked, was the 5th largest economy in the world.
Well, I don't know if you remember, a couple months ago, they were protesting that the workers from the port, that they were demanding higher wages.
Yeah, but this is for the fire department's job.
Oh, the fire department was the one who said that?
No, the fire department, it's their job to be able to put out the fire.
They actually reduced the budget when Trump came into office, I believe. And they had less people, because remember when the Palisades fires happened, that was a lot of the drama too, that they cut the budgets for the fire departments. They did.
No, that's false. I think
based on my understanding, they cut the budgets and they had fired people, and then they also had hired. There was a lot of things going, and since I don't want to be biased, they were saying that they also had a lot of women workers, and people were saying that they weren't able to put the fires because of lack of resources and because a lot of people weren't adequately prepared for those situations. So I would have to check, but I'm pretty sure one of the reasons was the funding.
So there's like the infrastructure with water that the administration, I believe, has been telling Newsom to come up with something, because the fires has been an issue, and apparently like the governors here have not been able to do something. The fire department apparently does not have the resources to be able to put out this fire, and I thought it was a little ridiculous. I don't understand where this comes from.
AI overview. Yes, some firefighters have been cut due to federal budget restrictions and budget cuts at the local level. These cuts have affected federal wildland firefighters through hiring freezes and layoffs. And in some local jurisdictions, fire departments are planning to reduce staffing by cutting positions. These reductions impact health, safety programs, and raise concerns about the ability to fight wildfires effectively.
See, she's right.
But what I'm saying, it's embarrassing. Like, why are we looking towards the federal government? Why doesn't the state do it themselves? When you guys are paying taxes, you pay federal taxes and then you pay state taxes. And quote unquote, the tax rate that California has is pretty high. And so I am curious to know, like, why isn't California able to prepare for something that clearly has been a problem for a long time, which is fires?
The cuts. The city of LA reduced the budget approximately $17.6 million from the previous year's allocation. This was achieved by eliminating dozens of vacant civilian positions and mechanics and reducing overtime funding.
Responsibility for fire department budget decisions in California varies by jurisdiction, so city, county, and state level. And right here it says Mayor Karen Bass proposed a 2.7% reduction, about $23 million, in spending for 2024 to 2025 fiscal year. Oh, do you remember when the LA fires were happening in January, and then the LA mayor was traveling abroad, and she was getting a lot of negative backlash for it? So that's my whole point. Like California, like our mayors, we are in control of the fire department budget, and yet they're not investing in it. And so I think that is why the port is looking for the help of the administration, because the actual state isn't doing anything about it. When I saw the video of them trying to put fire out of that Long Beach, I saw one boat, and it was just like launching one. So it's like they're pouring, it's like they're peeing on a massive fire. And so it's like, well, who the heck is going to need fire support in the ocean? I guess, we don't need this, so let's not pour money into this.
They cut fundings primarily due to reallocating funds to other priorities, such as salary increases for firefighters and homelessness programs.
Oh, God.
That's the reason they're eliminating it for the Olympics. So I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to future plans and money.
Wait, so they cut the
one of the reasons they gave
homelessness?
Yes, that's one of the reasons. But do you see this Democratic-run state, like what it did? I don't even think it's a bad thing, right? Because let's just say homelessness is a problem, but they're clearly not allocating the funds in the right direction, because the problem has gotten worse. So imagine the like your business gets backed up because of the fire department unable to handle a problem.
Yeah.
Like
That
that's a
sucks.
problem. I saw on TikTok that there's a food business, their neighbor had a fire and the smoke went through the vent and went to their place of business where they had a food business. And so the health department, after the fire department cleared out the fire, the health department shut down the restaurant as well, even though they didn't have any damage. But there was potential pollution because of the smoke that came over. And so they were forced to throw away everything. And mind you, most of the time, like this stuff is in refrigerators. So their entire food was thrown away. And mind you, I don't think it's much of an issue because they have insurance. Like you can't have a business like this without insurance. So they'll be able to make a claim. They're going to get it back. It might take a while, but it turns into a problem.
Yeah,
It's
it stops
'cause imagine,
operation.
like for me, it takes all day, 2 days to butcher a bunch of meat. So I spend time, I spend effort, I spend a lot of money to process these things, and then I have to throw everything away. Like even though I get it paid back, it's not a good thing. But they also had like the refrigerators filled with drinks, like
So they
the
had
beer
to
bottles,
dispose that too?
the
No
beer
way.
bottles, and then everyone in the comment section was going crazy because they're literally taking a ton of beer and they were just throwing it all away, and everything was closed.
Wait, this was published
Do you think
on
it
a
was
video
polluted?
like for
Do you think it was
because of the
polluted?
Long Beach fire?
No, it was
Oh.
this not
Oh.
related. It was a different occasion.
Oh,
Do you
but-
think it was polluted? The things that were closed.
Probably not. It's not. How can it be? Not only is
So
it's
who
in the
made them throw it
refrigerator,
away?
the health department.
Oh.
So that is because it's a hazard.
Mm.
It's just a precaution, right?
Mhm.
But that's the whole idea. Like these things can actually have a big effect on specific people.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, oh, when there was a tornado and it only hit my freaking storage unit and I couldn't access it.
Wait.
So these natural
disasters.
occurrences can have a big impact on people.
Isn't
Don't tell
it
me.
annoying that they're throwing away these sealed containers and stuff, but the genetically modified chicken is okay? And yeah,
The
that's just
3D print is
3D
okay.
Yeah.
But not the bottle.
And dipping our chicken in
Thanks.
Clorox is okay, but when
Dude,
the
my
house
skin looks marvelous.
to clean it and process
You guys
it.
just witnessed in real time an area that
really-
California is lacking heavily on, and where they decided to allocate the funds to a problem that doesn't exist. All of us.
I don't think they should. Like the thing is, they also stated that they gave higher salaries to certain people, so they decided to reduce the budgets. So whoever is getting whoever is getting those higher budgets, whether it's the mayor, whether it's the fire chief,
They're enjoying it.
they're enjoying it. But the other part is the homelessness. Are they just doing it because of the Olympics and they're trying to clean out the city, or is there really?
No, for
Are
many,
they really using the resources? Because when I went to downtown the other day when I went to buy my brother's gift, and there was a bunch of homeless camps around the area still.
Really?
And I feel like the homelessness, like they're starting to come more towards the Latino areas,
Oh yeah.
and they used to not be here. So,
Yeah.
okay, you're supposedly removing them from downtown LA. But where are they going next? Is the money really being allocated and used in the right direction?
so one of the wealthiest states does not have support from its own governors or the administration.
People don't like Mr. Newsom. And so maybe this is one of the reasons why a lot of like the people from Palisades and the fire department were pissed at that time.
The age of disclosure. We purchased it. We watched it so that you don't have to.
I don't think was it worth $20?
I think so.
You
I
think so?
think-
Really?
Towards the ending,
I
yeah.
just thought that one section was worth it, but everything like they kind of took a while to get to the point.
Yeah, like the beginning,
It was
they kept
necessary.
repeating everything that
You
I
think so?
already knew.
It was necessary because you have to know like the backstory of how they get to that point. And
guess-
although it was kind of annoying at 1st, I think it was a necessary
Especially when
time.
they said that they didn't know
Yeah.
Yeah, what it was.
what it
Yeah.
was or what.
Yes.
or what
And it's like
is out
yeah,
there.
I was annoyed
Michael
because
was
of
like, "Oh, that's the
yeah.
end of it."
yeah, the footage that they use. It's like, come on.
Well, that's what's been disclosed.
I wanted to
think
see
they
someone
can't
with
show-
big googly eyes.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
waiting
waiting
to
see
see.
the skin, at least some type of a skin.
Yeah,
of
like
the
a figure or something.
of the non-human thing.
So for those of you who may not know, Amazon Prime, there's a documentary released on Friday, November 21st, and The documentary was directed by Dan Farrell, and it interviewed 34 high-ranking U.S. government, military, and intelligence insiders and elected officials.
What does the U.S. government know about life outside of the planet? So does the universe have another species outside of humans?
And they believe
the answer, without a doubt, unequivocally, yes.
Yes, they are.
that we're not alone.
And so
We're not alone.
One of the scenes that brought chills to me was when they said it was a naval base where one of these, like, whatever ships, and mind you, they're like blocks of matter. They're either square or circular,
or like a diamond
there's,
shape.
Yeah, there's no clear sign of engine or anything. Like, it landed, and then beings walked out and interacted with military officials.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Basically, this is technology where they are able to travel at a very, very fast speed. We're talking about 40,000 miles per hour, and it can go vertical and forward, backwards, instantaneously.
Underwater.
And it could go
under any circumstance. It could go up into space and then come back down. And I thought it was interesting because, you know, we measured the fastest airplanes. It takes them a long time for them to be able to turn. And they can be going at ridiculous speeds, stop, and then a complete right angle.
Yeah, they could stay on our Earth for 3 hours and then out of nowhere just go back into the outer space.
Yeah, that was something that was recorded. They saw like a ship or whatever that came into Earth, or who knows where it was, but it was in the Earth's atmosphere, and then it was there for 3 hours, and then it went out to outer space and left.
Ismail has mentioned that they travel at 40,000 miles per hour. Well, our technology and our aircrafts only go to 4,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, so it's a mass difference.
Something to note is that they said that this presence of UFOs and extraterrestrial activity has been around since 1945.
Yeah, very important.
47.
It's been around for a long time.
Since Truman's administration.
Yeah, so,
and they kept it sealed. So the reason they're not able to expose it is because Truman has signed a document where it didn't allow the release of it. And apparently the CIA was put in charge of this. And there's like different sections of the U.S. government who are investigating and running experiments.
Yeah. And so these beings, supposedly, they left fragments and ships and biological fragments as well. So beings for humans to be able to analyze, almost as if they want us to catch up when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
And so they gave it to like the US, the Chinese, basically top countries.
That's what they're theorizing, no?
Yeah, they theorize that, but they know for a fact that the US is in currently possessions of what they call UAPs. Is that what it is? Yeah. Which are, you know, well, they don't know what they are. What I thought it was very fascinating is that the speeds that they're traveling on, it's impossible for a human to survive in that ship. So if one of our planes is able to go at that speed, it'll completely crush us. And so
that's what they were understanding in the beginning.
Yeah, but then they came up with the theory that essentially whatever that matter is, it's surrounded by some kind of force field.
Like a bubble.
Like a bubble, and it essentially protects them from every single thing outside of it. And so like the individuals in that warp or whatever it is can feel normal, like we're stationary, but they're actually moving. That technology can allow us to be interstellar. So if we understand how to harness that same technology, humans will be able to travel through different galaxies.
And even go into the future.
Yeah, so that was completely fascinating to me.
That's scary.
And I feel like the reason as to why they put that information out there is to start preparing us mentally for a big shift that can is coming.
Because they probably they probably made something already.
No, they're probably already
they already have more information that they're not exposed, and individuals are advocating for that disclosure because they don't think it's fair for the Americans to not know. There's been a lot of talks that Trump has been enforcing like talks with
Yeah.
what's going on, briefings about UFOs and aliens and all that. So I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if he was to announce it when everything starts coming down, like collide.
So like the whole issue of the video is those government officials, they work in the military or whatever, that are a part of these programs. They're coming up with a lot of problems, like red tape. And so a lot of classified documents, like they can't share information. They can't receive what the government has or the CIA has been able to collect after so many years. And so that kind of makes learning and harnessing that new technology kind of difficult, because the top scientists in the nation aren't able to come together and, you know, figure it out. And so like their fear is other countries being able to do it before them. And that would genuinely like shift the dynamic of power in this world.
Yeah, bad people could use it
Or
for
even
bad
worse,
weapons.
like eventually they become like those beings become hostile, and they can basically have complete control over us because they're just so technologically
They could
advanced.
destroy us too. They have the option because supposedly they've been observing us for a very long time, and they've been watching our every move.
It's also important to note that they said the Vatican has information on this topic and they haven't released it either. And one of the reasons why they're also saying is because it changes the belief system and everything that we grew up knowing.
And it could be potentially harmful. One of the claims that they had, there's a possibility that these beings are just living in the ocean and they don't come from a different planet, a civilization that's from the past, and they're in the water. And also, they mentioned that scientists have a better understanding of Mars than they do of the ocean. Here. So there's like 70%, or I forget the percentage of the ocean that the depths have not been analyzed or mapped.
They're saying there's a whole city living under the ocean and we don't even know it. That'll be scary.
That'll be interesting.
It's just funny
what drove them to go down there?
Yeah.
To go down with the civilizations or whoever is in there?
If it's in it, because
The Big
up
Bang.
until now,
we can't breathe down there.
The Big Bang.
now, it's
And it's dark,
an unidentified,
mysterious, area.
being.
So the legacy program includes these organizations: the CIA, U.S. Air Force, Depth Energy, and defense contractors. So they're all aware of like the information. But they also said a flaw that they have is that when people who are working towards these, I guess you could say experiments or studying these topics, they either they end up retiring, they end up dying, or something happens along the way that not everybody's always briefed. So it makes it hard to continue evolving. And that was like one of the flaws that they had.
Damn, I want to work it with them.
And it's very fascinating because it like really puts things into perspective of how little we actually matter in the grand scheme of things. Like imagine how insignificant our problem, like my problems in specific, are to those beings. You know what I mean? Like I just thought like the crazy ass change that can happen as a result of this technology, it's completely just like unimaginable.
Yeah, it's really crazy because we've seen movies already. Now all the directors that made these movies are probably watching this documentary like, oh my gosh, I knew it. Like, because they described this big circle floating in front of them and it was bright. You saw it. That was shown in a movie.
Yeah. And you know, like all those people that claim to have seen aliens and UFOs, like they were called crazy, and like now it's been confirmed that they were right.
Yeah, they're jumping
Goes to
in
show
the
like
air.
that 1%. Maybe Candace Owens is onto something. Like she's.
Wait, she talks about aliens?
No,
I'm
but
saying,
like what she's saying, because like based on the claims that she's made. Oh my gosh, Leah. Something that they think was interesting is that there's a doctor in Stanford that he has been like analyzing human bodies who were in touch with And didn't he say that some of them got sick and stuff? So he's been like analyzing them. So they got, let me see if I understood this right. They got sick because they came in contact with the UA.
The non-human.
Or the aliens. Or because
the way I could be wrong, but the way I understood it
the
is
radiation.
the force around the ships.
Okay.
So when they passed through, they came in contact with that force, and that's what caused a damage. I could be wrong. It could be like the actual being.
I think maybe it was that. You're right. So they were flying the crafts, and then they saw the sightings, and then whatever energy came out impacted the pilot or whoever was in the mission. And so the doctor has been studying that. So I thought that was also fascinating.
You know,
I wanted
how can you guys say that that wasn't worth the money?
Oh, well, towards the middle. The first beginning part, it kind of dragged. Like, okay, we
I don't know. The entire time, it kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time.
I just, like you said, I wanted to see more undisclosed things.
Yeah, I want to see the non-human.
The energy needed to fly a craft at 40,000 miles is the energy used by the entire United States. And so they have one, I don't know what it is, one blob, one piece of matter, a black whatever square spherical thing that is able to travel, that has the energy that the entire United States uses. So imagine there would be no need for electricity, gas, coal. Like, it is insane how the life that we need, which is, it's just mind blowing to see what our life would be. It would be entirely different.
I like it. I like the future.
And so
it's scary.
And so now imagine this with quantum computers, with AI, and now you have this, like, we're being steered in a direction of just being so technologically advanced that our current issues and problems and things just
But then who would control all that? That's the problem.
That's why the US wants to be the first, and that's why it's classified. But I thought it was very interesting.
But since 1940 something, they're like, and they still haven't been able to. That's crazy.
I hope they're treating that non-human right.
Yeah, so the documentary mentioned that they're starting to show their face more often, more evidence of existence of their ships, because the humans are starting to evolve quicker. And
they say it's like a gift for us.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Really.
I'm not sure if you guys understood it the same way I did, but this is how I took it. Remember, they mentioned that they were doing like a trial run for a missile, and they launched it. Yeah. And then something went, and it launched the beam, and then it turned to the other side, launched another beam, and then launched the beam again, and then it just disappeared. So it was almost
looking at the technology that they launched, that we launched.
Yeah, but I think it was making sure that we're not going to blow ourselves up. So that is how I should, like, wait, I need to make sure that they're not going to launch a missile in a place that can be extremely harmful to another nation or to the humans itself. So if they showed up, they zapped it, analyzed it, saw that it was a dupe, like it was just a trial, whatever thing, it wasn't actually going to explode or whatever, and then they left.
Oh, so they're controlling and supervising. That's it.
Because they said that sphere that was on the movie was on top of a nuclear warhead, and it dismantled that entire warhead. Almost as if to show, Daddy's home. I run this bitch, and then that nuke was no longer, functional. I don't know.
Things that they said is why did they allow the attack on Japan, Hiroshima?
Yeah, they said that.
Maybe they also want to show us that, we continue. But the movie that we watched that you said was kind of dumb, where this person or this thing from another universe came and
wanted to kill
like it was gonna kill humans.
Oh yeah, and the reason that it didn't was because of love.
Yeah, and because he saw that we have the ability to change and to be better. Yeah. So imagine there's something similar like that. That's crazy. But
they know something that we don't know. They said that.
Yeah, no, they do. And I wouldn't be surprised if this information is released by the end of this year or the starting of next year.
I hope so.
Especially with all the political drama happening. And the reason being too is because you're saying that maybe they're preparing us for that exposure. And then I think it is true because the women that were in space earlier this year. I'm talking about Katy Perry and the host, and then Jeff Bezos' wife. Whether it looked fake or not, they still went, according to the news headlines. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they're slowly preparing us for whatever they're about to release. And yeah, who knows? But it's interesting because 3-Eye Atlas, the comet or the whatever they thought was gonna come and just like cause destruction here.
Yeah.
They probably knew more information about it then, and they didn't really elaborate.
Also,
maybe they did land. It was a spaceship.
Or
they're saying like it's an ancient civilization that left, and then they're coming back.
Oh gosh.
All I know is that the government is not to be trusted.
Michael, can I
Michael,
go to the
you
bathroom?
pissed me off.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Sunday that the U.S. is not at risk at entering a recession in 2026. And he claimed America would soon benefit from the Trump administration's economic policy on trade and taxes. He says, quote, "We believe healthcare is going to come down with a little bit of patience." And so apparently in the next coming week, they're going to come up with a solution to that, the healthcare issue. And then hopefully it'll be ready to go by January because the last whatever is set to expire then. Anyway, like I just thought it was very interesting that there's this ray of hope because everything is in the news related to the economy has been doomsday. There's so many negative things. But apparently, and this is something that obviously the Trump administration is aspiring to or has mentioned it from the start of their administration, that at first it's going to be very brutal. But as soon as the policies that we believe in and we're invoking start to kick in, things are going to be better. So hopefully it ends up turning out well, and the economy in America can prosper and many, many families can benefit. Right now, whether or not you support this administration, like I know for a fact everyone would hope for something good like that to happen.
And you said healthcare. Does that mean with like the whole drama they've been having with making cuts to Obamacare?
Yeah. So like I said, you didn't look at that clip that I sent you on why Obamacare is bad.
I kind of like skimmed through it with Joe Rogan.
No, it was Dave Ramsey.
Oh, Dave Ramsey.
Joe Rogan. Yeah, so it just shows like there's a lot of ignorance in politics. Like I didn't look too much into it, but I'm not going to talk about it because I myself don't understand it. But essentially, the Obamacare, according to this guy, it encourages things to be more expensive for whatever reason. And so them removing these healthcare policies and then coming up with something new that'll be more beneficial to everyone. So that is what supposedly the administration wants to do. And so first it starts off with getting rid of the old and then coming up with a better version for moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, my only issue with that is how they presented the new and better version, because I haven't heard much talk about that. So that's my only issue.
Apparently, like they're supposedly they're in the talks. They're gonna start addressing that issue. Yeah, this administration is gonna start addressing the issue.
I think,
and I'm not sure what that means.
When the shutdown happened, one of the reasons was because of the healthcare, and they said that in December they were gonna go discuss it more, but from my understanding, they weren't really introducing anything new. It was like the Democrats saying like, oh, you can't cut this, you can't do this, but I didn't see anything being introduced. So hopefully during those conversations, if they were to eliminate Obamacare, they could come up with a better plan that will benefit the American citizens. But we'll have to see.
Our small businesses wasting too much money on social media ads. I came across this in my sleepless nights. I was scrolling through Instagram. You know what I saw?
What?
I saw a company running an ad on Instagram, and it just had their company logo, like super low budget logo.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying. Like
super low budget logo. Like it just said, and it was Mexican related, tacos, whatever their name was. And it low budget logo, like it was like a lot of white space, and then the logo was like green or something.
So like businesses are not putting the effort
Yeah.
into.
No, it's not. It's just it either comes through ignorance or insecurities.
No, I think they just not.
No, but like let me finish. Let me finish.
Cheap out.
No, let me finish. They ran an ad and no caption that was at all anything. Like it was just like, oh, tacos, whatever their name is. And then I clicked on their profile just to see what's up, and it was a business in Georgia. And so that just goes to show the level of inexperience and they just don't know what they're doing. They're just wasting money, right? Because number one, they're targeting someone who is a business owner in the same field in an entirely different state, and the piece of content is just a company logo. And I've been seeing many different versions of the same thing. And so the reason why I say it could potentially be insecurities is because they have a specific they post content and it doesn't get any likes, any engagement, any views organically, right? So what they do is that they pour money into it to force people to watch that content, so that way their feed looks more poppin', right? It gets more views, more interactions, they gain more followers. But is the end result actually closing deals? And I think the answer to that is no. And what a lot of people are still doing is like they have like a picture of their setup. I don't think that's effective anymore. And so I think the age of creating content with this for the sake of building brand and closing clients has changed a lot. Like it's no longer like, oh, let's post a picture, and for whatever reason the Mexican taco catering industry is taking a long time to adapt to that. And so everyone does the same thing, a video of their spread. They just showcase that. And I think what companies should be putting more focus into is creating content that gets a lot of organic reach. And then after analyzing the posts that get a lot of organic reach, pour money into those, because the organic reach is already proof that people want to see it, as opposed to forcing people to see something that they don't want to see. Does that make sense? One of them is a waste of money, and the other one has the power to change your life. Because if a video gets 1 million views, people are already interested in it. And so adding $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 into it to show it to more is only going to grow even more, and obviously more attention to your business. And so that's why I came to this realization based off of the ads that I've been seeing on social media. The industry doesn't really seem to understand how to run ads.
But when you said that you think it's because of insecurity, I don't think insecurity is a reason. I just think it's because they're still not taking it seriously and they're not investing within their business. So obviously you can't do everything. At first you try to, but there comes a point where you're going to seek people who are knowledgeable in certain fields to help you. So it's lack of them investing.
If you post a video and it doesn't get any reach, and you force the platform to show it to more people by paying for it, you don't think that's insecurity?
No, that's not insecurity. The problem with that is they're trying to be social media marketers, or if they have somebody doing it, they don't know how to do it. Because there's people who are hiring out here, social media marketers, specifically to know how to target people and reach people. I don't think it's insecurities, but maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. But to me, it's because they're not investing in their platforms. Or they want to invest and
it's because like you understand
they don't know what
that
they're doing.
If somebody that has decent budgets, a lot of these vendors,
they have decent budgets.
Yeah, because a lot of these taco vendors have been around for a long time, right? And like in our line of work, you're able to build a pretty nice business just by word of mouth, because you have an amazing service that people love and adore, and they continue to recommend you to their friends and families, right? So they have budgets to invest. So I'm not talking about newbies that are barely starting. I'm talking about businesses that are already kind of established and been around a while, and they want to amplify their social media presence. And so what they do is they're not putting much thought into the way they're producing content, right? And them pouring thousands and thousands of dollars on a monthly basis gets them the views, the likes, and the followers. But they're not building brand, right? And so I think that it's a combination of many things. Obviously, not understanding the platform in itself, but it's insecurities as well. Because those same numbers, the same followers, they wouldn't be able to get if they don't run ads. And so at first, and I'm just speaking from experience. Yeah, it is
chasing numbers.
No, at first, when I first started,
like you wanted
when I first started, I was posting. We were posting every day on Instagram. They just weren't getting attention. And then what did I do? I just started pressing the blue button. I remember I landed my first client after 600 followers, but I had put such an absorbent amount of money to get to 600.
So then what's your advice?
So focus on the creating content that gets organic reach. So obviously you have like Reels and TikTok, understanding the platform and how to post content. And if you really must pay for advertisement in the beginning stages while you get your mojo going on how to produce content, the first thing you should do is pour money into those websites that are review based. So like Yelp and Google, right? Because Google is still like a big part of service-based businesses. So like people in the area who are looking for taco vendors are going to go to Google to research a location. And so even though those avenues are a bit more expensive, it's a better bang for your buck. If you are a taco caterer, do not press the blue button on Instagram. The blue button is very limited on who you can target. The Facebook ads manager, you're able to essentially target better. There's no reason for me as a business owner to be receiving your ads. You have to learn how to target people. But if you just press the blue button, it's going to show it to whoever. And you can run through $1,000 like this in a couple of days. If you have a specifically target audience and you put $1,000 in there, but your target audience isn't watching it, the platform isn't taking your money because they're not consuming it. Taqueros, be very, very careful with how you run ads on social media.
Did you guys hear about the experiments they would do on dolphins in the 1960s? Basically, they wanted to teach dolphins how to speak English.
That's interesting. With what purpose?
Well, this neuroscientist was very fascinated of the intelligence of a dolphin. Supposedly, their brains were similar to humans. If they are able to communicate in English with us by sound or something, we would be able to know how to talk to different aliens in the future.
What?
It ties back to the UAPs that we were looking into earlier, because didn't they say that in the 19-somethings they figured out about these aliens and stuff? So isn't that crazy?
That is. I didn't know they were related.
In the documentary, they said that these beings could potentially be coming from the ocean.
Oh my God. So they're trying to teach the dolphins the language so that they can, oh my gosh. I connected.
So
Thank you.
yeah.
You connected thoughts for me.
Basically, there's this woman called Margaret. She was working with this neuroscientist, and she had to be with this dolphin. They named the dolphin. His name was Peter. 24/7. The project was funded from NASA adjacent agencies. They were just curious on how non-human communications might work. When she was trying to teach Peter to speak English, dolphins didn't have vocal cords, so English was hard for him to learn. And Peter tried to imitate sounds, but it came out squeaky and strained. Peter would make some and O sounds. He never actually learned English words. The project became controversial and problematic because this dolphin, Peter, was a male dolphin, and he became sexually frustrated. That's what the scientists said. And so, since transporting him to the female dolphins, because they had more dolphins, but they were downstairs, Margaret, when she was with him 24/7, she didn't want it to be interrupted. Like, the sessions of them, trying to learn English. And you know what she did?
Interrupted?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What are they doing?
Margaret would manually relieve him so they could continue working.
What the fuck?
And I thought that was very disturbing. Reading this, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, supposedly she says it wasn't sexual for her. It shocked the world after it became public.
So that's why they lost their funding.
Yeah. Dr. Lilly also started giving LSD to dolphins. So I think it's a drug, no? It's a drug.
The same drug they use for the MK Ultra products.
They started using LSD to dolphins, trying to see if it would change communication abilities. NASA pulled back funding. Scientists criticized the experiment. Things got messy and unprofessional. Once the lab was closed, Peter was sent to a smaller dolphin faculty in Miami. Peter became depressed from losing constant human contact. Supposedly, dolphins can stop breathing on purpose. So Peter... Stop! And Peter eventually died by sinking to the bottom of the tank.
No.
Margaret was doing wonders to this dolphin.
And Margaret said, quote, "I know he committed suicide."
What the heck? This is weird.
I think dolphins are very social creatures. If you see them interact with other dolphins,
I feel bad for
they're
that
freaky.
dolphin.
And
Apparently.
they're supposed to be very friendly if you ever are able to interact with one.
See how destructive humans are. They took such an innocent creature and taught him hand jobs
Oh my god.
and drug use. And then it led to suicide.
That is so sad.
Oh.
Another thing that I really saw that was very disturbing, and at the time of age when I was younger, I did not understand this hacker because I seen him on my For You page back then. So his name is Ryan Montgomery, and he is a cybersecurity expert and ethical hacker. He uses his hacking skills to catch bad people to stop child exploitation. He went viral on the internet and on YouTube in 2023 for saying in a podcast that he discovered a horrible website where child predators shared extremely disturbing content about abusing children. Using his hacking skills, he infiltrated that website and collected a lot of evidence. I found very sad was that he said that the website was controlled by a politician. Nathan Larson. He was an American white supremacist and convicted felon. So to clarify, this was just a viral moment. He had found this website around the year 2020. It only became public in 2023 when he took all this evidence to the police, and Ryan said that the police never got back to him, so they ignored him the first time around. He also says even the media ignored him at first. Today he said that in that database it had 7,000 people, so 7,000 predators. They identified only 500 of them.
So there were 7,000 of them and they only identified 500.
Out of the 500 people, only 13 of them were convicted of sex crimes with children. Today he went on the podcast called Sean Ryan's Show, and he talks about more awareness because he found more things after that year. These predators are in Minecraft, Discord, and in other platforms, and he could easily hack in and see everything that's going on to these children.
I don't know why these agencies are covering for these predators.
Speechless.
Comment down below your thoughts on this story.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Guac and Chippies. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Love ya.
Bye.
Till next time.